Convinced that there is nothing more cringe and insane than the Looksmaxing community. What you're about to watch is an edit of a guy who was born with a cleft lip, essentially just opening up about life and being vulnerable with his audience. And a Looksmaxer decided to take a clip out of that video and make an edit out of him in an attempt to call him ugly with this collage of men that he finds attractive.
I have to remind myself this is part of my life. And that's just not how my luck is.
Now, I honestly apologize that your guys' eyes had to see that. I'm not talking about the guy. I'm talking about this edit. I mean, it's one of the most cringe things I've ever seen. What's so wild to me is that the caption of this
Somebody posted that, and I bet you that has a lot of views. I would bet my house that has a lot of views, and I would bet my house as well that it has a lot of likes.
brutal mid-face insulting the guy. Yeah, I promise you, if you look closely through this edit, you couldn't find one picture of the guy who made this edit, and that's because the guy is probably insecure himself. Funny enough, this guy's whole page is dedicated to him making edits.
See? 90K, 100K, 200K, 30K, 40K, 130K, 50K, 14, 170, 240, 20, 6, almost 600K, almost 90K, 116, 22K, 30K. It gets thousands of views, bro.
Of other men that he finds attractive, yet in all of those edits, that man is nowhere to be found. I find it so crazy that his name is Keep Coping Boyo. It says most brutal black pill edits, don't get mad at me, yet he's taking a bunch of other men and putting them into edits to call other people ugly. That is the most cringe thing I have ever seen. Like, I'm sorry, but the Looksmaxing community is one of the most insecure.
Oh my gosh, bro. That is... yeah, I don't know.
And sad communities I've ever seen in my life. And we're gonna go more into that. But let me address the elephant in the room real quick. Number one, I know y'all see this entirely new setup, and that is because I have moved. Unfortunately, there will be no more Kobe in the background, and no more bed in the background. That was a pretty big staple, I will say, on this channel. RIP the bed. Also, the other elephant in the room, I haven't uploaded in like a month, which, yeah, that's because like the whole moving process. Also, my PC broke while moving. Actually, this is my old PC right here. You can see like the little thing is on the ground and everything. But yeah, UPS pretty much just messed up my PC while shipping it over, and I had to get an entirely new one, unfortunately. But hey, we're back now, back with consistent uploads.
Did they pay for it?
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for supporting the channel. Back to Looksmaxing. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what Looksmaxing is, it is basically the practice in trying to maximize your looks. It's a term used online very. It is basically the practice in trying to maximize your looks. Is a term used online very often nowadays, and like I will say, the root of Looksmaxing makes sense. I mean, the whole idea of Looksmaxing I feel like is a pretty good idea. Maximizing your looks, I think that's a great idea. Let me say, there is nothing wrong with trying to better yourself, whether that's grooming yourself properly, going to the gym, having a skincare routine, eating the right foods, all that good stuff. I myself do all these.
That is a fade, bro.
Say, there is nothing wrong with trying to better yourself, whether that's grooming yourself.
This gotta be a crime, yo. This gotta be, yeah.
Properly, going to the gym, having a skincare routine, eating the right foods, all that good stuff. I myself do all these things. But what I want to focus on more in this video is the extreme Looksmaxers. And these are the people who are so deep into Looksmaxing that there is no return. People who think that all that matters in life is looks, and that's pretty much it. And while I do agree, your looks can open more doors than if you didn't have the looks, let's be real here. The difference between flirting and harassment nowadays can sometimes boil down to how you look. I mean, imagine if you're a guy who looks a lot like Kelly Oubre and you walk up to a girl, start complimenting her, start flirting
Kelly Oubre
with her, then ask for her number. She'd probably be very flattered. Then imagine if you were a busted, chopped, hideous, unpleasant creature doing that exact same thing. You'd probably get called a creep, unfortunately. So it makes sense on why we as people care so much about our looks. But at the same time, I do think it's pretty insane to stare into a mirror every day and hyper-analyze every single pore on your skin. And also doing all these weird methods to change your facial structure, like thumb pulling. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what thumb pulling is, I have a tutorial actually right here for you that looks like it was made by what looks like a 16-year-old.
A lot of you have been asking for a thumb pulling tutorial. Here is a full guide on thumb pulling to achieve more forward growth like I did. I want you to put your body against a wall. Roll your shoulders back and put your chin to your neck. Next, I want you to put your thumbs on your palate. Push up and out with your thumbs and resist with tucking your chin. You should hold this position for 30 seconds and repeat 5 times or more each day.
Did this man have to have the deep voice filter on this? Could he not just have narrated this video himself? Maybe I'm just nitpicking, but I'm gonna be completely honest. When you look at the before and after of this guy thumb,
They're the same. They literally look the same. He just turned his head. He just turned his head more towards the camera.
pulling, it looks like nothing changed. Actually, no, the lighting was the one change, that's all. But other than that, he looks the exact same. And I find it so insane that the guy who created this video is so young, yet he cares so much about having this insanely sharp jawline. He's so dedicated to this that he's quite literally shoving his thumbs into his mouth and pushing his back against the wall and tricking his brain into thinking that there's some sort of change when really there isn't. The only change there was the lighting and the angle. That's pretty much it. Like, it's very sad. And here's another video of somebody who thumb pulls and they track their 30-day results. And the crazy part is that from day 1 to day 30, there's no change at all except for the lighting and angle. It's like these guys are doing nothing and they're tricking themselves into believing that they did something. He quite literally just put on a shirt and looked away from the camera rather than looking into the camera. Like, what is this guy even on about? I see no difference at all. And if you thought that Looksmaxing method was insane, just wait until you hear about this next method, bone smashing, where you hit your facial bones with hard objects like a phone or a hammer in the hopes of changing the shape to have this more chiseled look. And y'all may think I'm joking, but I am being dead serious. There are people out there hitting themselves in the face with hammers in an attempt to become more attractive.
I highly doubt people were actually hitting themselves with things to bone smash. I thought this was fake. I heard about this, but I thought it was fake. I don't believe that anyone was hitting their face.
Like, this has to be considered some sort of mental illness. During the research of this video, I actually found a guy on TikTok who apparently has been bone smashing for 29 days straight. And he has all these bruises on his face. And to top it all off, the man is using a rusty hammer. Like, you couldn't find a clean hammer anywhere. Like, you just had to hit yourself with the rusty, dusty, dirty hammer that you found in the garage. That is disgusting. And the fact that the hammer is touching this man's face is even more disgusting. I know it carries hella germs. And it's sad because this dude looks really young as well. He looks like he's in high school. And I feel like it opens up this conversation on if this extreme looksmaxing is really about bettering yourself. I'm sorry, but you're not bettering yourself if you're hitting yourself in the face with a hammer to the point where you're leaving bruises on your face. That's more on the lines of self-hate than self-love. This guy is quite literally harming himself. This is self-harm. But YouTube, this is AI because I don't want to get this video taken down or demonetized or any of that. I think someone who loves themselves would accept how they look and own it rather than hitting themselves in the face with a hammer repeatedly to change their facial structure to get this Minecraft Steve look. I quite literally saw another guy while doing the research of this video trying to become more pale, and this man called it the vampire method. What's crazy is by the end of this whole vampire method, this man looks sick. And I don't mean he looks sick in like the, oh, you look sick in a cool way. No, he genuinely looks sick. Then you got all these people in the comment section saying, teach me, teach.
Are your eyes lighter or is it just the lighting? Bro, you never explained how. How did you do it? How I want to be white again. Maybe I just have too much ego. But the most I'll ever do is skincare. I feel like that's where it stops. Working out, good diet, skincare. That's all you need. I swear. I swear. I swear.
teach me. It is so cringe. Yet at the same time, I find it so sad. Like, why don't you teach yourself how to get a job instead of spamming in the comment section of this guy's videos asking how you can get more pay? These Looksmaxers quite literally hate themselves so much to the point that they can't even fathom being comfortable in their own skin. They want to change the color of their skin like it's a Call of Duty camo. And the crazy part is, that's not even the end of these Looksmaxing methods, because these methods just keep getting goofier and goofier. There is a method out there called the towel method where dudes bite towels in order to get more prominent jawbones. Here's actually a video of a guy doing a few of these methods. So
If you want better jawline, lose weight. I feel like TikTok complicates a lot of things. This is the reason why Looksmaxing doesn't really make sense most of the time, is because people overcomplicate things. If you want to look better, lose your fat. Eat less, move more, sweat, clean your skin. If you would like to see whatever you want to, whatever your jaw, whatever you call it, lose weight. If you want abs, lose weight. If you would like to appear a certain way in the face, clean your face. Wash your face. Haven't we been washing our faces since like the beginning of time? Is it mewing? Is that what this is? He mewing?
sub 5 is, according to Urban
Is that supposed to mean under 5?
Dictionary, it's a person who is below a 5 out of 10 on the black pill / Looksmaxing look scale. People in this range are seen as conventionally unattractive and often feel as if they're invisible to the opposite sex. Now, apparently this is like a term that's used a lot within the whole Looksmaxing community, and I just find it super cringe. Like, if we're referring to human beings as sub 5s and just all this, that just sounds so dumb. I'm sorry. But what's even more insane to me than this odd term is the Looksmaxing edits. Now, y'all saw the edit earlier. That was cringe. But what if I told you that there are even more cringe Looksmaxing edits out there? Like,
I know there are. I know there are. That's not surprising. Bro, they get views, likes, and people comment. They get a lot of engagement. They get rage bait engagement. They get touch grass engagement. They get freaking like, it's like
this one right here.
All right, guys, whoever catches these flowers gets to be my girlfriend. 3, 2, 1.
I already know where this is going.
Oh my god, I want that shit.
Now we really got to break this down to a science. We really have.
I will say, some of the music be going hard. I can't lie. Some of the music is tough, but all that other stuff is weird. But the music be going crazy.
If you thought that the Looksmaxing community couldn't get any more cringe, what if I told you that they have Looksmaxing apps that rate people on if they're attractive or not? Oh, you thought the Reddit groups were crazy and the Looksmaxing websites? Yeah, these Looksmaxing apps are even crazier. The video that you guys are seeing popped up on the screen right now is this app UMAX, and this is, I guess, the app that Looksmaxers use to rate themselves. This just gets sadder and sadder. Like, the more I speak about these Looksmaxers, I just realize how like far gone these people are. And the funniest thing is that these apps aren't free. Yes, they are free in the App Store, but to actually use,
You gotta pay for that? Nah, I ain't paying AI to rate me, man. I ain't paying AI for no rate. I'm sorry. I could never, boy. I could never.
utilize them, you have to pay a weekly subscription in order to get that rating. And it's only like $4 or $5, but I still think that's a complete ripoff. If you need to spend $4 or $5 for an app to tell you if you're masculine or if you have potential or if you look good, then you have some serious thinking to do. Like, go into a room, sit down, and just think for a second. When I tell you, I will walk through the Sahara Desert dressed like an Eskimo before I have an app tell me if I'm attractive or not. I'm telling that AI, hey man, say man, if you're not rocking with Young Cam Slam Busticle, then get to stepping, little.
Busticle is crazy. Busticle? Where did he get that?
You're an AI. You do not have a face. Get off my balls. Okay, that's kind of a diss. Hold Hold on. I'm dissing AI right now. Terminator, do not come after me. But yeah, in conclusion, there's nothing wrong with trying to better yourself. I truly believe the whole idea of looksmaxing is a good idea, just trying to maximize your looks. And that makes complete sense, you know? But do not take this looksmaxing to these extremes. Don't become one of these people that hyperfixate on their looks 24/7, because you're more than your looks. I'm no self-help guru or anything, but I believe it's all about how you carry yourself. Accept who you are and own who you are. If you got a big forehead, own it. Y'all don't see me wearing hats